And now, your host, Couch Tomato!
Next thing I want to talk about, you brought up Oscar nomination.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to call you a liar, but I want you to tell me why this film deserves an Oscar first.
Only because the way the Academy is right now, they're trying to broaden their base. Like they're
trying to, with diversity.
Yeah, they're trying that with
Oscar so white hashtag.
Yep.
It really took a toll on them. But also, if you want to make another hashtag Oscar not so sci-fi. They hate sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, because I remember because they've been dealing with a lot of backlash. Like you brought up the racial aspect, and I know it was a few years ago when I think it was one of the Christopher Nolan movies. I don't know if it was The Dark Knight or Interstellar, but basically the Best Picture category expanded, like where they allowed more movies to get nominated. So I thought, given
that was the year that I think they had Fruitvale Station on that one. I think that's the year they did it.
So it's just like, I think with this year, since they opened up like their categories, I think this might get a Best Picture nom. I don't think it's gonna win, but I think it could get nominated.
If it get nominated, it just means that they're changing and they're looking for a younger crowd. But that's one reason I've never watched an Oscar. I will never watch the Oscars because it's not for my generation. Like the movies that I watch, they don't. And what's so sad is the movies that I typically religiously watch at the theaters are blockbusters. They're highly invested tentpole films, right? However, when you ask me what's my favorite movies, at the end of the year, when you ask me what movies have I seen, the ones that I haven't talked about on this podcast, I see everything. If it's, like whether it's an Oscar picture, whether it's an art piece, whether it's a small independent film, I'm watching everything. If you could capture me by a trailer or a synopsis, I'm going to give you a shot. So if I could think that way, and I'm all inclusive, I just don't respect the Oscars because they don't think that way. It's all about, okay, whatever promotes the art and the culture, but they kind of dismiss my generation and like stuff that we watch, like the popcorn flicks. I understand why those shouldn't get recognized for Best Picture, but there's a couple of things like I thought Interstellar should have got a nomination for Best Picture, and they won't give it the time of day because it's like, it has aliens. Yeah. Aliens don't exist. And that movie with what's her name, Sandra Bullock, the only reason it got recognized is because they didn't put no she had that dream sequence, but other than that, the movie was a realistic take. You know what movie I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Gravity.
I've seen that movie. Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't respect them, but this is a critical darling from what you're telling me on the site that should not be named. Have you figured out what the actual scores are?
It's 93% with the critics and then 82% with the audience, which again, I'm always down with the audience. Like they just always get it right.
Yeah, the audience gets it right. And then that means absolutely nothing when you're talking about Oscar stuff. When I was talking with my frat brother, he saw an early screening, and he's another opinion that I value, like yours, Hulk. He's a movie buff, and he said this is gonna get an Oscar nomination. I told him no deal. If are you telling me the aliens weren't in that movie and the trailer's lying? Okay, no, it's not gonna get it. Will this movie get an Oscar? HE double hockey sticks no. And the reason being, Amy Adams is solid, but I'm gonna be realistic. There's nothing captivating from this role. It was a simple role. She just played it well. She was subtle. You don't get Oscars for that. It has to be some type of defining moment in the movie, and she has no defining moments in the film. Once again, coming from somebody who loved her performance, I just know the way voters think, and I just think maybe visual effects. But was anything spectacular? Probably not, because at the end, when she actually comes face to face with Abed, she looks like a Disney character. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Like when she gets basically on their side.
She's actually in the cloud with them. Did that look realistic to you?
It didn't take me out. Like it didn't really.
Nah, her hair looked like all some Pixar stuff. Hulk, you're lying right now. You're lying right now.
It didn't
oh
take
my
me
god!
Out. It
didn't take you out, but I'm talking about if you're trying to give this movie an award, and be overly critical, because that's what you have to do as a judge. Can't get your personal feelings involved, right? So it's like visual wise, nah, it's not gonna get it. And then Oscar wise, I just don't. November and December is when these Oscar hitters start coming out the woodworks. If nothing special comes out, maybe, and it'll just be a low-ended year. But I doubt it. This when the Oscar movie's gonna come out. I'm pretty sure this guy was thinking Oscar, but like you said, the movie it's a little slow. And I said I like it, but I'm also putting an asterisk not a lot of people gonna feel this movie. It makes you think, but it's not easy on the eyes sometimes because a lot of nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I doubt that. And when people nominate stuff for Oscars, they gotta watch that thing like 8 times. And after watching this movie 8 times, me and you already admitted, hey, it doesn't hold up if you rewatch it. So I personally think it's not gonna get it.
All right, we'll see. I think it has a shot because so far, to me, it's off to a good start. And
I'll hedge
like,
my
we'll
bet and
else,
say I would like to see this movie
month,
nominated. But you know, will it?
Mm-hmm.
Those people always get it wrong. Like they be hating on Christopher Nolan so bad, and they gonna hate on this guy too. Prisoners got nominated though, didn't it? I think, Prisoners. Prisoners got nominated, and it's the thing.
Yeah, Prisoners got nominated. I'm pretty sure. Like I seen like a few of the actors.
I'm talking about picture wise. I'm looking it up now, but if this film gets nominated, it'll be because they got rapport with the director.
And I think they do, because I think that's why it's at 93%.
And I'm looking now, and it says this was it got one of them best achievement in cinematography. Never mind, you can't really count that. See, they slept on Prisoners. Nah, this movie not getting.
But it didn't get nominated.
It got one of them best achievements in cinematography. Man, those are like those awards you don't really hang up, in my opinion.
Well, they won that award, but did they get like?
No, that's the thing. If they slept on Prisoners, you think they're gonna sleep on this one too?
We'll see.
Exactly. I saw already. I'm just like her. I can see the future, the past, because I know the language. But all right, moving on.
Yeah.
All right. So next question that I had, we talked about that this movie lends itself well to a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think they shouldn't do it, but on some OJ stuff, if I did it,
You like tomato
And you like tomato?
potato.